The Smiling Man, a horror story. A quiet night. It was 12:30 a.m. when I finally left my office in downtown Chicago. The streets were almost empty, and a cold autumn wind swept through the city. My apartment was only a 15-minute walk away, so I decided to walk home. Everything felt normal, until I reached the next intersection. The man under the streetlight. A single streetlight flickered in the distance. Beneath it stood a tall man wearing an old black suit. His arms rested stiffly at his sides. He wasn't moving. He wasn't blinking. But he was smiling. It wasn't a normal smile. It stretched unnaturally wide across his face, making my stomach tighten with fear. Something about him felt completely wrong. He started moving. I slowed my steps for several seconds. We simply stared at each other. Then the man slowly began walking. His movements were strange, almost robotic, as if invisible strings controlled every step. He didn't walk directly toward me. Instead, he moved in wide circles, while never taking his eyes off me. That was the moment I knew I needed to leave. The chase. I crossed the street. A second later, he crossed too. I walked faster. He matched my pace perfectly. I reached for my phone to call someone, but there was no signal. The streets that were familiar every night suddenly felt endless and empty. He vanished. I looked down at my phone for only a second. When I looked up again, the smiling man was gone. I stopped walking. Silence surrounded me. Maybe I had imagined everything. Then I heard footsteps behind me. Slow, heavy, getting closer. Right behind me. I turned around. The smiling man was standing less than 10 feet away. His grin looked even wider. He slowly tilted his head and whispered something. I couldn't understand the words, but they echoed inside my mind like someone speaking from deep underground. Without thinking, I turned and ran. Home isn't safe. I ran through empty streets until I reached my apartment building. My hands shook as I unlocked the front door. I rushed upstairs, locked every door and window, and tried to catch my breath. Then, curiosity got the better of me. I looked through my bedroom window. There he was, standing directly beneath my apartment, looking up, still smiling. No one believed me. I immediately called the police. Within minutes, officers searched every nearby street and alley. They found nothing. No footprints, no witnesses. One officer suggested I had imagined the whole thing. After a stressful day at work, I wanted to believe him. But deep inside, I knew what I had seen. The camera. The next morning, I installed security cameras around my apartment. For 3 nights, nothing happened. Then, at exactly 3:13 a.m., my phone vibrated. Motion detected. I opened the live camera feed. The hallway outside my apartment was empty. Suddenly, the screen flickered. For one terrifying second, a pale face appeared, inches from the camera. The smiling man. Then, the video went black. The final warning. The next morning, the camera was still hanging on the wall, but its memory card was missing. Nothing else had been touched. As I turned toward my apartment door, my blood froze. Someone had scratched 4 words into the wood. You looked back. No fingerprints, no evidence, nothing. I moved out of Chicago a week later. I changed my apartment. I changed my job. I even changed my phone number. Years have passed. Sometimes, late at night, I stand in front of the bathroom mirror for a split second. I see a tall man in an old black suit standing behind me, smiling. When I spin around, the room is empty, but every now and then, I hear slow footsteps outside my door, and I can't help wondering, did I really escape, or is he still waiting for me to look back one last time?